Okay, so let's talk about crisis teams here, at least in the Phoenix, Tempe area, just a little bit. Okay, so a crisis team is usually a master's level clinician. It consists of a master's level clinician along with a bachelor's level, like social worker or paraprofessional. So it's a two team person, and we have crisis teams here in the Valley 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They usually run out of Taros or Impact. Okay, so what a crisis team does is they come out to a situation where there's some kind of behavioral health crisis, and there needs to be some sort of intervention. Okay, so someone else can call a crisis team on somebody to say, please go out and look at this. You can call for yourself and say, I need help. A spouse can call for their spouse and say, I need help. You can call for your child. They don't have to be an adult. You can call for your mother who's living with you, who, seems to be having a tough time, that type of thing. So the process is this. So you usually call the county crisis line, which is 602-222-9444. And they're counselors on the other end there, and they're 24/7. And I'm talking about Maricopa County, by the way. Okay, so you call them and you say what's going on. So let's just have an example. Let's say my teenage son, my 17-year-old boy, who maybe has had some behavioral health challenges in the past. So maybe he's out of control and he's screaming and yelling and punching the walls, and me and my husband can't get a hold of him. So I call the county crisis line and say, please send someone out. I need help. And it's maybe 10 p.m. on a Friday. So they always call the police or fire, depending on the situation, just to assess the situation, because they never want to send out a crisis team into a situation where there's danger. So that is good. So police or fire may come to the house first just to clear that there's no weapons, there's no, threats of any kind like that. And then after that, the crisis team follows right behind and comes in. So what you're getting in your home or at your door, if you don't let them in, is again a master's level counselor and then a bachelor's level behavioral health worker. So, and they are just full of resources, full of knowledge. This is their job. They go crisis to crisis to crisis every shift. God love them. And they're just there to help. So they're there to see if they can, A, get the situation calmed down, right? And B, see if they can help you figure out resources within your own family and resources within your community to help this situation get better on a permanent basis. So maybe they come into the home and, maybe I'm crying because my boy is so out of hand, and maybe my husband is really mad because he's had it, and, there's a bunch of holes in the walls, and maybe we have other kids that are afraid and they're hiding upstairs because of their brother. And so these workers walk in and, they just kind of assess the situation. Again, police has already cleared it. So they assess the situation and see what's going on, maybe talk to me because I'm crying because, like I said, maybe my husband is mad and he's stormed off because he just can't take it anymore right now, is what he's saying. So maybe they talk to me first and, help me calm down enough that I can talk about what's going on. Meanwhile, they're keeping an eye on my boy, maybe even the behavioral health, the tech, the bachelor's level one may go over and talk to the boy, especially if they have experience working with teens and stuff. So maybe that person's off talking to them and the master's level person is talking to me, and I give them an assessment and sort of dry my eyes. And then maybe my husband comes over and they help talk to him and validate that this is super stressful for us, and, that it's scary for the other kids that are upstairs. And then, they talk to us about, again, what have we tried? What do we want to happen? Those are two big questions. So maybe we've tried nothing. Maybe this is our first call. Maybe we've tried everything and we're at the end of our rope, and maybe we're somewhere in between. And then what do we want to happen? Maybe we want to keep him in the home and we just need some resources, or maybe we really need him to go to the hospital. Maybe he's been so scary, we're afraid for ourselves and for the younger kids. So, you kind of have options, and then maybe anything in between. Maybe, my husband's saying he's got to go, and I'm saying, no, 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 we can figure it out. And, maybe he's just been off his meds for a couple days and we got to get him stable again. So maybe he does go to the hospital, but just for 2 days to get stabilized. Or, there's all kinds of roads for this, but they're really wonderful people, and might I say, really, really apt to get compassion fatigue, because that is a hard job. Crisis teams have it rough. They go into homes. A lot of times people don't want them there. At least someone in the home doesn't want them there, right? The ill person, maybe. They go into dangerous situations sometimes where they think it's been cleared and something scary happens. It's a hard job. So let's love our crisis team people. Anyway, so they are able to transport. So they can transport a person. So if my 17-year-old boy wants to go to the hospital or whatever, then they can transport him to the hospital. I don't have to petition him because he's a minor, right? So if this was an adult in my house, though, I would have to petition him and follow the process that we talked about a couple weeks ago. And then again, they can leave resources. They also do follow-ups, which is great. They can have someone call like the next day, like, how are things going? Anything else you need? We just want to make sure you're okay. And they can come out as much as you need, and it's free. Did I say that? It is a free service. So a really good resource for you all to have for other people, or maybe in your own life. So really good stuff. So I have a video more about crisis teams that I want you to watch, but I wanted to give an introduction.